Hi everyone, good morning. It's too early, especially here in Berlin. Yeah, it's good to know that we are here like at home because I am like too nervous. So this is the biggest screen I ever had, and the highest I would say. Yeah. Today we're going to talk about the Android accessibility. Disclaimer, I'm not an Android developer like at all. I am more like web accessibility expert. So I know everything about it like in basics, but not about the Android development, unfortunately. But I'll learn definitely one day. Compose gives me a lot of opportunities to learn it like faster, to see everything clearly. So especially with the accessibility, so Jetpack Compose is just a great library instrument. So to write your code accessible. Yeah, let's go. First of all, hi everyone once again. My name is Glafira. Yeah, I am an accessibility team lead in a small company called SpurIT. We do a lot of e-commerce experience built on Shopify ecosystem. Also, we are providing accessibility services for everyone, actually, like even for applications, like we do web, Android, iOS, consulting on accessibility. Yeah, also I'm a part of the great community GDE, Google Developer Experts, and I am a GDE for web technologies. Why am I here, Android accessibility? Yeah, so, yeah, and also I'm a part, an ambassador of a great women tech makers community. This community empowers women to talk, to show themselves publicly, speakers, and so on. So if you want to join or want to become a better speaker, no matter if you're a woman or somebody else, yeah, just come to me. I'll help you. I'll help you to prepare yourself to some conference or to, you know, like just encourage you to do something. Just come to me. Yeah, you can find me everywhere, almost everywhere by my name. But I provide you my Twitter. It's actually sometimes in Russian, sometimes in English, so sometimes in Korean. So sorry. Yeah, let's go next. I am a part, like a driver of the accessibility club Minsk community. It's a famous community. Accessibility club is a famous community, and it's a branch of it. Also, I am teaching accessibility at some courses. They are still in Russian, but you can like contact me. I'll provide you with some consulting on accessibility for your service, for example, for free. Yeah, so, and encourage you to learn accessibility. And I'm also a program committee member of a few meetups and conferences. Yeah, just prove that you can come to me and ask for anything. Yeah, we're going to talk about accessibility. Please raise your hand if you have ever worked with accessibility in your life. Wow, a lot of you. I'm going to talk about such basic things today. So, yeah. Anyway, cool. So, accessibility is like in short words. It's about building our interfaces accessible for everyone, no matter what. If you have a broken hand, or if you're blind, or if you just have a baby in one hand and your smartphone in the other one. So yeah, you should be able to use the interface no matter what, in short words. But today we're talking about Android. Oh, it's almost... Okay, so let's pretend there is a top of the screen, but enough space for our purpose. Yeah, so we're gonna see nothing, right? So it's just a frame of the phone, of the smartphone, and this is how our interface looks for the blind person. So they don't know about the position of the elements on the screen. They don't know about their type. They don't know, like when they open the application, at the start they see nothing, obviously. So let's pretend we're a blind person. We want to discover the interface, to check what's on the screen. And the blind users, they use such cool tool pre-built in our operational system called TalkBack. It's a screen reader. Obviously, it reads everything from the screen, so it relies on text on the screen. So if you have no text, you won't present your element to the blind user. Let's check. This is the screen of the application. It's a language learning application called Drops. Maybe somebody knows this application. It's really cool. And this is the screen of the profile tab in this application. Let's check how it works for the screen reader. Screen reader goes element by element from the left to the right, from top to the bottom. So let's check what the screen reader user will hear. And first thing they hear, it's unlabeled. Double tap to activate. Have no idea. Some interactive element. The next one, unlabeled, double tap to activate. Cool. We now definitely know what to do. Close the application. The next one, unlabeled, double tap to activate. Okay. So I have no idea when we got some information. Yeah, finally, it's my name, Glafira, so it's definitely the profile tab. Cool. The next thing I get is some text saying currently learning. No extra details, just currently learning. So I assume I'm learning some languages. Which ones? I have no idea. The next thing would be some wording strike. The next one, current 0, disabled. Okay, thank you for the information. The next would be previous record 41, disabled. Cool, really important. Strike calendar, double tap to activate. The only thing I really understand on the screen, like some calendar, I can tap and open the calendar. Okay, cool. And a few more interactive elements with I have no idea what type of the elements are they. So home, explore, challenges, and profile. Yeah, so that's it. Cool, nice, accessible application. Let's see how it looks like for the sighted person. It looks like this. So as a sighted person, I see a lot of information for me. So I know that at the top of the screen, there are buttons. One of them is about the current language. One of them is about my level in the language. The settings button. Also, there is a status of my account. I am premium, so I have no idea about it if I'm a blind person. Also, I learned 3 languages, and I had no idea as a blind person too. And the other stuff was read as it is, so kind of okay. But still, there are some icons which gives us more information, but like for the blind person, they give nothing. So yeah, why we do this? Obviously, not only for blind people, but for 15% of the Earth's population, and not only for them actually, because the screen reader is a tool not only for a blind person, but also for a person with low vision, for a person who have difficulties with reading, for example. So they use screen reader too. Yeah, and it's about, according to the World Health Organization, it's about 50% of people in this world, and it's really, really old statistics, like from, I don't remember, 2000 something, 1817, something like this. So 15% of the population have like disabilities, like medical conditions. But yeah, in numbers it looked like this. So Earth's population today, I checked yesterday, is about 8, oh my God, too many of us, 8 billion of people, and 1 billion and 200 millions have difficulties with our interfaces. We should acknowledge it. Yeah, so in this number, it doesn't include people who are getting older, like all of us, also some temporary disabilities, like broken hand, or a driver is definitely a temporary disability. So, at least me. Yeah, so when you drive your car and you need to look at the map, it's sometimes difficult when the elements are like really small. Also, I experience a lot of issues with my mouse, like usually, and I need to use the keyboard to navigate through the websites, for example, and it's awful. It's just mess. Don't do this. So there are more people with issues with our accessible interfaces, inaccessible, I would say. But if it doesn't motivate you enough to build accessibility, there are laws in some countries. Yeah, and in Europe, all the digital resources should be available by 2025. As always, it should be, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, so I give you the link to the latest report on digital accessibility. It's a United States report, but it says like that about thousands lawsuits per year are raising on accessibility. And each month, it's about 400 lawsuits. So it's a lot. In US, here we still have no proper laws to support the accessibility in our interfaces, but we'll do. Yeah, so I'm going to base my talk today on these great, like really cool statistics on mobile accessibility. For mobile, we can count how many users have accessibility settings turned on. For web, we can't do this. So we can't detect if the user uses a screen reader or a keyboard, like properly detect. I mean, we can use some life hacks, but still, it's a platform-based thing, but web can't check it. But you, with mobile development, you can do it. So with this group, they are from Netherlands. They're using some library which includes some piece of code into your application, which tracks the accessibility features on the platform, if they on or off. So go there and check. They tested. They asked about 5 million people with the mobile. So the number will be in percents, and it's from the 5 million people. Yeah, so according to these statistics, accessibility feature, at least one of the features is turned on 59% of the devices. It's for both for iOS and Android. And 22% of the users, they have at least two features turned on. That's like impressive numbers, especially from 5 million people. Yeah, in our operational systems, we have this menu accessibility called accessibility. In the new versions of Android, everything is there in this accessibility menu, all the accessibility settings. In the previous versions of Android, they can be spread through all the menus. So some display settings will be in the display menu and so on. But yeah, today we have everything in one place. And the screen reader is not the popular one, but still it's about 50 or 500 people who use screen readers among the people who passed the survey. Yeah, so they use, it's for Android. For iOS, it's 002 actually, so almost the same number. Yeah, so the screen reader on iOS is called TalkBack. And if you want to turn it on, of course, one day you want to turn it on, and the same day you want to turn it off. So yeah, it's sometimes a bit difficult to turn it off. Actually, maybe somebody here has had the same issue. Like your mother or grandmothers, they call you and they say something like, "Oh my God, my phone started talking for some reason, like it says everything, like what should I do? And you have no idea. Like you're trying to reboot the phone, but it's still, the screen reader is on, so it still will be on after the rebooting your phone. So it's awful. And I even know the person who went to the service like to switch it off. Yeah, so, but internet helps. And also the new way to turn on and off the talkback works, it works too. So you just go to the talkback settings, you switch on the shortcut, talkback shortcut, and the button will appear on the screen, and then you can use this button to turn off, turn on. But also you can use the volume keys. You need to press both for 3 seconds or something like this, and it will turn on or turn off. Yeah, so for the developers, it's really, really cool to switch on the feature to display speech output of the screen reader, because sometimes it's too difficult to listen to it all the day, like when you're testing your application. So you can just like switch off the volume and use the text instead of the sound. I have in my team, I have a girl who can't listen to things like during a long time, so she needs this feature like mentally, really. So yeah, do it. Well, to fix our previous interface, we need to understand that accessibility requires from us at least 3 things. All the interactive elements and all the elements which have semantics, they should have 3 things. First, accessible name. Second, role or type or semantics. And the third one is name, role, value. By value, I mean some state of the element. It's like actual value. With the screen reader, we also have the 4th thing. It's the actions, but screen reader says the available actions based on the semantics of the element. So we need a proper name for these labels, for these buttons, for these interactive elements, and we add it somehow. Yeah, so the screen reader will read the labels. Then first, of course, we need to change the semantics of the elements. So we need to code them properly using the right semantics. In this case, it's buttons or icon buttons. Yeah, so for the compose, it looks like I took this from Google. It looks really simple. You use the for the icon buttons, especially because they don't have the visual label near them, you use this special property called content description. In accessibility, we use this property a lot in different places and ways. But one of the main usage is to use it for the icon buttons. So the content description property will add the label for the assistive technologies, but it won't show it. So it's not visible, but for the screen reader works fine. And you use, of course, the semantics. Icon button, for example, for this, which is, I guess, subclass for a button. So it will have everything you need. A screen reader will say the type according to this type of the element. And also, screen reader will add this double tap to activate, double tap to check or uncheck instructions according to the type of the element. So please, semantics, the first thing in your life. Yeah, but please don't use the content description property, because I know you say it to developers, use, and they will use it everywhere, like everywhere. If you have a visible text for the element, it's a semantically button or a switch control or a checkbox or something like this. So use the native way to add the label to this element. For example, through the button text, not through the content description, because you can, content description rewrites the native way to add the label. I need to breathe a little bit. Second. Yeah, so you can find yourself in the situation when the screen reader says not the same thing as you see at the screen. And as you remember, I told you, not only blind person uses the screen reader. So they can see your interface, they see the select this trip button, but the screen reader says them add trip to cart button. And also, it's confusing for the voice control, because voice control relies on the content description too. You say, like, push the select this trip button, and it will do nothing, because the name of this button actually is the add trip to cart button. But we don't see it, we don't know about it. And screen reader shows me the text, but the voice control won't show me it. So yeah, and some other fixes, like Glafira can be a heading, definitely. There is such semantics in Android. We can use it, and the screen reader user will thank you, because they are navigating by headings. They can jump from one place to the other, from one group of the information to the other group using headings. We definitely need this premium information because it wasn't there. We need to add some normal label to the current learning languages. But yeah, we can switch the we can use the content description for the block, and this information will rewrite the content of the block. So the screen reader will read in the right, right for the understanding order, the text. Yeah, so straight is the heading 2, and there are more headings like this on this screen. And yeah, for the these elements, we need to add some additional information, like current 0 is not a good way to understand this. So current 0 days in strap, for example, and we should remove the disabled information, because this control is never, of course you need to be sure, but this control for me is never like it's never even an interactive element. So it doesn't say double tap to activate. So it's not interactive, but it's disabled for some reason, and it doesn't look like disabled. So yeah, and for the 41 days, we need to add the word days. This is, for now, it for the screen readers. So consider the semantics of the element, the name, and yeah, keep in mind, you can check it like really easily. It's not that difficult to use the screen reader by yourself. Let's just check the gestures, and they are pretty simple for the start. The next thing I see, I see a lot of issues on this, like most of the many issues. It's the display size and text. We can change the font size in our fonts. It's about 37% from that survey who adjusts the text size. When you change the text size, it changes only the text size. So no graphic elements, they will stay the same. Let's see how it goes for the applications. This is pretty common. Like now you can open any application on your phone. You can change in your settings the display, this font size setting. You'll see almost the same situation. Like text is hidden, there is not enough space between elements, and so on. So sometimes it causes like real issues, because in this case, I can't scan, I guess I can't scan the QR code because it doesn't scroll. Like it hides behind the element border. It happens because you, as a developer, you always fix the height of the element. But when we increase the font size, like nobody cares. It should be relative dimensions, something like this. Yeah, so the next would be the display size. 16% of the users use a bigger display size. I am from one of them, because my phone, like it's Google Pixel 7 Pro, it's pretty big. And sometimes the applications, their interface is like really small. So yeah, the difference between the display size and text size is that, as I told you, controls will change their size only with the display size. Display size works like zoom for everything. Yeah, so, and display size, if you change only the display size, it will look better, definitely better. So, and sometimes it's even essential, because in some applications, there are like really small pieces of interactive elements. So I even can't like press them because my finger is too big for them. So I need to increase the size of elements, and it will be better. Sometimes we can prevent the part of the interface from changing. But in this case, like if it's really essential information and you don't know how to reflow it in a good way, so you can forget about the changes. In this case, the screen reader or the users have the magnification tool, so they can check everything by zooming with fingers. Yeah, so to support font size and display size, first you need to update the designs to like draw the screens for bigger sizes of everything. And there are guidelines, accessibility guidelines about it. And for the development, it's good to consider not to fix the height of the element and use the relative units like dp and cp. As far as I know, dp is for mostly for interface elements, cp is for text sizes. Yeah, and also you can use such a cool thing. iOS developers don't have it. It's really funny because it's like really difficult to test iOS applications without access to the Xcode. They have only some tools only have in Xcode. Yeah, so for Android we have accessibility scanner. It's cool. It shows a lot of different issues on our interfaces. For example, the content labels, touch target size, like for big fingers, clickable items, and also text and images color contrast. Yeah, so you can get like a lot of information for every element. You can run the scanner just for the one page or for the scenario. So you can record the scenario and get an understanding on accessibility of your application for each element. For example, for the button I showed you before, where the label is not as we see it, it says unexposed text. So, and it gives you more details and gives you opportunity to read the details. For today, that's it. Please go to the page Build Accessible Apps with Android. Check everything there. It's really a cool resource made by Google, of course. It's a modern one. Yeah, so do it. Thank you so much for attending this great talk. This is the link to the slides. All the links are there. So yeah, thank you.